My name is Sunday Bada. I am here again to teach you guys how to solve mathematics question. Today's topic is bearing. We begin from the question 5. An aeroplane flies due north from Ikeja Airport for 500 kilometers. It then flies on a bearing of 60 degrees for a further distance of 300 kilometers before overflying a road junction. Calculate. Now, what you are going to do now is that we start from where? Where is it starting from? The starting point is from where? Ikeja Airport. Let's call it from Ikeja Airport from here. This is I. Let's call it I. Ikeja Airport. We have north, we have east, we have west, and we have south. And we are told that the plane fly where? North. North from Ikeja. 500. Don't mind my handwriting. 500 what? Kilometer. Let's say this is 500. This is 500. And we can call this space. What can we call this space? Let's call this space B. And the question says, from that 500 kilometer, let me write 500 kilometer here. Yes, 500 kilometer. And it then, when question say then, flies, it means where it stop. Then again, fly on a bearing of what? 60 degree for further distance of what? 300 kilometer. 60 degree, let me call this space 60 degree. This will be 60 degree. And the question is now asking us now, let me call where it stop here. Above junction, road junction, overflying a road junction. Let me call this space C. Let's call this space C. This space, this point is I Ikeja, where it starts from. This space is B. Calculate the distance of the aeroplane from Ikeja Airport when it was directly above the road junction. It means that Ikeja from here to where it stop here. That's it, that the distance of aeroplane. The aeroplane is here, which is point C. And from where it moved from Ikeja Airport. We are going to join it together like this. So this is the distance from Ikeja to where the plane is above here. That's what the question is asking, which is small letter B, the opposite of that B. Now here, when you fly another 60 degrees, we were told that the distance is what? 300 kilometer. That's what you fly before overflying. When you see question like this, when question give you two side with one angle, it means that you are going to use cosine rule to calculate this. Now, how can we form the angle here under the B? There's a way we can form the angle. From here to here, it flies 60. The remaining one here will be what? 30 degree, isn't it? Which is 90. No, all this right angle here is 90. It flies 60, which is exterior angle. The interior angle here will be what? 30. If you look at here, it will look like a right angle. It means that the total here will be what? 90 degree. Is what? 90 degree. And the total angle of this B, after B, 30 plus 90 is going to give us what? 120 degree. Therefore, we have formed our angle. The formula we are going to use is cosine rule. The cosine rule is that this is it. When you have two sides with one angle, you will use what? You will use cosine rule. But if it is sine rule, when you form your diagram, something the bearing, if you only have one side and two angle, it means that you are going to use sine rule to solve the question. But if the question give you two sides with one angle, you are going to use cosine rule. Let me repeat it again. If question give you one side with two angle inside, it means that you are going to use sine rule. But if question give you two side, one angle, it means that you are going to use cosine rule. The cosine we are going to use, we are trying to look for this place, is B, small letter B raised power 2 equals to what is C and I? We are going to say small letter I plus small letter C minus 2 times I times C cosine. What is our cosine B? Capital letter, which is that B? That's it. This is the formula you are going to use to solve this question. What is our small letter B? We don't know. What is our small letter I? This I Ikeja. Where does it face? it face the 300, the opposite of that I face 300, which is 300 raised power 2. The C, what of the C? The opposite of C, the side opposite of the angle of C is what? 500 kilometer. If you look at it, 500 raised power 2 minus 2 times 300 times 500 times cosine. What is cosine? Cosine 120 degree. Now, let's proceed. 300 times 300 going to give us 90,000. 500 times 500. 500 times 500 is going to give us what? 250,000 minus 2 times 300 times 500 is going to give us 300,000. What is cosine 120? The cosine 120 is minus 0.5 minus 0.5. That is cosine 120. Now let's proceed. 90 plus 250 is going to give me 340. It's going to give me 340 minus. Now let's multiply the 300,000 multiplied by 0.5. It's going to give me half of it, which is minus 150,000. Therefore, minus times minus is going to give us what? Plus 340,000 plus 150,000. What is it going to give us? It's going to give me 490. 490,000. Now the square root on top of here, we put it on top of the 490,000. What is it going to give us? 490. Now, what is the square root of 490,000? The square root is what? 700. It means that the distance between the plane from Ikeja Airport to where it is now, it is 700 kilometers. Now, the next question it says, the bearing of the aeroplane from Ikeja Airport at this junction. It means that the bearing that we can draw from this Ikeja that make it to go, the bearing that draw where is the aeroplane presently is at the point C. The aeroplane is at point C. It means that the bearing that we draw from Ikeja to that point C, which means from here to here, we are trying to look for the angle here. That's the angle that the question is asking us for this question B. Therefore, how are we going to do that? We are going to use sine rule, because if you look at the B is completed and this I is not what? It's not completed. We only have Ikeja side, which is 300, but we did not have the angle. But this B, we have the angle and we have the side. Therefore, what goal that we can use, the formula we can use for this is sine rule formula. The sine capital letter I over small I equals to sine capital letter B over small b. This is the formula we are going to use. Yes, the sine capital letter sine I, which is theta, we don't know the angle yet. We write the angle there. We write sine I. What is small I? The small I is the opposite the angle phase, which is 300 kilometer. 300 equals to, what is sine B, capital letter B? It is 120 degree. Opposite distance is 700. We have sine 120 degree. The distance we just got from the B, which is 700. This 700. Now the next thing we are going to cross multiply. Sine I multiplied by 700 is going to give us sine After I, 700, 300 multiplied by sine 120 degree. Now the next thing we are going to do, divide both sides by coefficients of sine I. 700, 700, 700 here, 700 here. Therefore, we have sine I equals to 300 multiplied. The sine 120 is 0.8660. 0.8660 multiplied by 300. What is it going to give us? It's going to give us 259.81. Yes, divided by 700. What is it going to give us? Divided by 700. It's going to give us 0.3711. Now the question say we should look for the angle because we are trying to look for the angle. This is not the angle because we still have the sine I. Sine I. What you are going to press in your calculator, you just press sine 37115. How do you press this? You will first press 0.37715. Then the first thing you need to press shift. After you press shift and now press the sign, it's going to give you your degree. Therefore, our I is what? Is 21.8 degree. Our final answer is 21.8 degree. Here will be 21.8 degree. That's the final answer for the question B. Thank you for listening. I remain Sunday Bada. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. Bye bye.